y'all, welcome back to my channel. I am loving life freely here on YouTube. If you're brand new here, I am a full-time reseller on eBay, Poshmark, kind of Macari. I do resell kids' clothes also on Whatnot auctions and Poshmark auctions. I'm also going to be dabbling a little bit in men's and women's in Poshmark. I've just kind of myriad of different things that I do here. I'm also on Instagram. If you're brand new here, I would love to say welcome to you. This is our weekly reseller chat. And I'd also like to say at the very first and foremost here, if you are brand new to reselling or fairly new to the community, like even within the last 6 months, even up to a year, because as we all know as a reseller, it takes time to kind of get your groove, right? I would love to say welcome to the community. I'm going to say it again, like I say in a lot of videos when we're talking about this. This is a fantastic time in life to be a reseller. And I say that partially because of one of our topics today. Because a lot of people, well, we'll get into that in just a minute. Let me give you a scoop on how we're doing here. Personally, we're doing really, really good. I had my birthday last weekend. We celebrated. I really didn't work Saturday or Sunday. And normally I do work on Saturday a little bit. Well, actually more than a little bit. And then I always take Sundays off. Sunday is my rest day. We do church. And then I literally put my feet up. I do a little bit of housework. I really just take a day to decompress. I had been doing a little bit on my computer and stuff. My husband's like, put it down and let your mind rest. Because it's easy for me. I enjoy what I do. In a sense, it's kind of addicting because when you're making sales or this is happening and this is working because you're doing certain things and you're seeing results, it makes you want to do more of that to see more results. So sometimes it is hard for me to shut it off. I do shut it off usually around 8:30 at night though. I silence my phone. It's just me, my hubby, and just downtime at night. So he has encouraged me to, for sure on Sundays, just literally not do anything but just relax to shows, read a book, or do whatever it is that I want to do. Sometimes when I go out if we're up to it or whatever we want to do, we go see our kids or whatever. So Sunday really is my takeoff day. And I will get to the point, I am in the process right now of getting to the point where eBay still goes live on Sundays. I'll kind of share that with you a little bit today if you would like me to, what I'm doing with eBay differently. And so, yeah, things are good. It has been a different sales month than I expected. I've made some good sales, but my sales productivity hasn't been what I'd hoped it would be, but better than I thought. I know that doesn't make sense, but when you're tweaking things and you've kind of switched gears, I'm making less sales, but I have made some good profit because of the pieces that I have sold. And so changing the type of inventory that I have has made a difference in being able to sell less and still make a good profit, but I'm still not to where I want to be. I hope that makes sense. If you are new to the reseller chat, we talk about a lot of different topics about reselling. And I'm going to say, y'all, before I dive into everything, may I say to all of y'all, not only the comments that you're sharing, your feedback, your thoughts, your frustrations, your comments on things that I've talked about. I so love all the interaction that I'm seeing and reading. I really do enjoy hearing from y'all. Even if you're correcting me, sharing with me brands, saying, hey, what about this? I'm frustrated with this. I love the interaction because it's definitely important to share our frustrations. I think the most important thing as resellers, though, is when we share our frustrations as a community to come up with a resolve to move on from that frustration and come up with a resolve for the frustration. And honestly, that's going to be part of our topic today because, to be honest with you, and the reseller community, not just, I haven't really had it on my videos, but other videos that I watch, there's been a lot of negative in the reseller community lately. We're going to talk a little bit about that today. First of all, before I forget, I don't want to miss this, okay? And I'm going to put the link down below. First of all, I do want to know how your sales are doing. And, one of the reasons why a lot of the negative talk that's going on in the reseller community, I personally don't support. It's just me. I see a lot of other resellers on eBay and Poshmark doing very well right now, okay? So there's a lot of talk about what they think is causing their Poshmark sales to tank. And I don't think it's lives like people keep claiming, okay? because I follow other people who sell on Poshmark and eBay, couple people in particular, and they're doing very well. One gal in particular, she's making thousands a week between Poshmark and eBay, guys. So I don't believe it's just lives. And there are other people who are doing also very well on Poshmark. She does a lot of listings. She has a team and everything. She just has a fantastic group that works with her. She also sources particular pieces. She's very mindful of all that. So no, I don't think that what one particular platform is doing and how they're changing and growing as a platform is tanking our sales. I think those other aspects that could be causing sale issues, and we're going to talk about some of those today. And if we want to do a separate video on that, we certainly can. But I'm definitely going to include quite a bit of it in today, because I think we really need to be serious and look at what truly could be happening instead of complaining about what may not be happening, okay? So, but before I dive into that, I started off with this. I apologize. I'm sorry if I'm doing rabbit trails here. I don't mean to. I want to talk about something that just got advertised on Poshmark today that I'm actually kind of excited about, and I want to share with you if you guys haven't noticed it yet. You know, up in the feed bar, they always do announcements about certain things. A brand new feature on the app they're going to be doing a beta test on. And again, I'm going to link it down below for y'all, because I want everybody who wants to be involved in this to have an opportunity to be involved in this. Poshmark has some great things about it, okay? And this is one of those things that I think if you want to be able to use this feature, I think it could be really, really good for you, okay? And that feature is promoted listings on your closet. They've had a lot of different features that they've added since they had the takeover in January. And I think, honestly, this is one of those features outside of what they're doing to better Posh lives. I'm not going to go into whether or not you like lives or not. That's not the topic of conversation here, okay? So let's just take a deep breath, okay? Because unless there's a lot of conversation about that. But the improvements that they're making to those people who are on Posh lives, and the improvements that Whatnot is making to to their lives, I think is great, because if that is a criteria that you're using to resell to make money for a family, good for you. Okay, I'm not going to bash anything. Okay, I think we need to be really careful as resellers what we're doing here. We need to be supporting each other, guys. Okay, and so promoted listings on your closet. Now, right now, if you read the article, they're putting out a thing for people to actually submit themselves to be in the beta testing, where you are able to beta test it free of charge. I don't know what the fee is going to be. I know that they've had this this feature in eBay for a very long time, and I know a lot of people use that feature and find that it brings them more sales. And yes, that means that eventually, once they improve this, if they do bring this out full time as a feature on Poshmark, if that's another added thing to Poshmark that you pay for this, let's not go down that rabbit trail, because I know the Poshmark fees are more expensive than eBay right now. But what I'm looking at is how you can use this feature to benefit your closet. My opinion, honestly, right now, since we don't know what the cost is going to be, and this is what a lot of people do even just for their offers, is maybe bump up your price of your item a little bit to accommodate for the feature to promote your listings. I know eBay, people do that on eBay, and it's worked very well for them. So let's not go down that rabbit trail yet. I want to talk about what this feature can do for us on Poshmark, okay? I'm actually really excited about this feature. I think it could be really good for a lot of people, especially people who really love Poshmark. It is their home base, and they really want to make things work on Poshmark because they're not comfortable with eBay. They don't want to sell Macari. This could be a really, really great thing for us guys. I'm excited, and I filled out the form myself. I'm going to link it down below so that if you want to be submitted to be in the beta test, it's free of charge to be in the beta test, and there's a whole article here on this. I think this could be a really, really good thing for Poshmark, you guys. And I know that, again, some people are going to be complaining, oh, well, there's just another thing to have to pay for on Poshmark. I think that's something you have to decide for yourself, but for those people who are interested in this possible feature that could benefit their closet, I think we should look at that in that way, okay, guys? I know I did the application. I am hoping that they might pick me. There are certain criteria that you have to go by. I'm going to be honest with you up front. You have to have at least Posh Ambassador 2 status. They do say Posh Ambassador 1, but you also have to have a fairly large closet. And they explain why in the article. So if you are wanting to build up your closet and get more pieces going in your closet, this is a great reason to want to do that, okay, guys? So again, I'm going to link it down below so y'all can read it. I am honestly really excited. Again, I kind of do hope they pick me to be a part of this feature because I think this could be a good thing. And the other thing is, I'm going to just kind of do a plug here, okay? I'm just going to be really frank with you guys since we're talking about Poshmark right now. I do believe that if you do lives, there's another reseller who sells on Poshmark and eBay. She's also done Whatnot, but she's been doing lives on Poshmark. She has found lately that that works best for her business model. And she does listings on Poshmark and eBay. She acknowledged that she feels that doing lives has actually boosted her closet, and she does sometimes make more sales because of the sales that she gets in her lives. It generates through your sales on Poshmark. You know when you make a sale on Poshmark and it kind of kickstarts things sometimes? She's noticed a difference. And I'll have to tell you, I did my first live sale last week, and I've had a few more increases in sales over the last few days. And I had some sales last weekend. I don't know that for sure that tweaked it. I haven't done it. I'm going to be doing another live sale tonight. I've got more booked out later. So it could be that even doing lives, if you can find a way to get a great cog and be able to do lives inexpensively on top of the fee for the pieces on Poshmark, doing lives may actually be a benefit to your closet. I think people who are actually using it, who also list on the platform, lives could actually be a benefit and a plus to your closet, guys. So I'm not saying whether or not you should do lives. And I know some people really don't like lives. When they first came out, they kind of bothered me, but I didn't really bash them like a lot of people are doing. But you know what? This is the way I look at it. Lives aren't going anywhere anytime soon, okay? There's been some people on another person's video that I watched this morning. People were actually talking about how they were reaching out to Poshmark saying, please disregard these lives, get rid of them. And Poshmark responded back very kindly to them saying, lives aren't going anywhere. Whatnot lives aren't going anywhere. Whatnot is blowing up, you guys. And I think, honestly, one of the reasons why the lives are doing so well for people, if you can get a really good cog and a good item to sell, people are looking for a good deal right now. The economy is tough right now. And since we're kind of switching into that, let's talk about the economy too. Let's kind of roll into that aspect of it. The economy is really difficult for people right now. And when you go and buy something online, even if you weren't a reseller and you were buying something for your family, we talked about this a little bit last week in the reseller chat. You're going to look for the absolute best deal you can possibly find for those items for your family. Let's not kid ourselves. You're going to be out there finding the best possible deal. And if you can make an offer on something, you're going to see if you can make the best, lowest offer possible to get that price as cheap as possible, especially if you're paying shipping that you possibly can. So we can't really blame people for trying to get a good deal on an item. Now, when you have an item listed at, say, $30 and somebody offers you a $2 deal, no, that's ridiculous. I agree 100%. I agree 100%. Lowball offers are ridiculous. But if you're selling an item on an auction and you can get that cog really low and still double your money, being able to sell it at a certain price bracket with the fee, and you can make more sales that way and make more money for your family, let's be kind here, okay? So I really encourage you, because the economy is tough, that's one of the reasons why I am enjoying Whatnot so much. I have a product that I'm providing people, and I'm starting to develop a community over there, and people are actually coming back saying, wow, thank you for this product, and thank you for the great price. They're super excited. And when I did my first Poshmark live last week, I had people thanking me for providing a product at such a great price that they could afford because things are tough for them, okay? I'm okay with doing that. I'm okay with doing the research for my business model to find pieces where that could be a possibility for me to bless them, make money myself, and turn them and make more money and sell more items quicker. On top of listing on Poshmark and eBay, because I'm still listing on Poshmark and eBay on a daily basis, guys. So I just kind of wanted to put that plug in. If you are willing to kind of work with it, because we know lives aren't going anywhere, maybe rethink possibly trying to qualify to do lives and see if maybe you can find some good pieces on good cogs. Do some research on the lives that are going on right now. Find out what's selling, what's not selling. Find out, how they're doing it. Maybe that could be another option for you guys, okay? So, promoted listings. If you want, fill out that information and see if they might reach out to you to see if you can be part of the beta testing for promoted listings. Okay, now I've been watching a couple other videos, and in July, there's going to be another shipping change. Now, my understanding is it's more like parcels and letters that go out. I don't know if there's going to be another shipping change in any of the platforms. But I did want to note it because somebody else in another video noted it. And again, she did mention that it's mainly like parcels and letters and things like that. But I do want us to have a heads up that there is going to be a change in USPS bump up in shipping on certain items again in July. So we may be seeing another shipping bump in the foreseeable future on our packages again. So I did want to note that to you guys. I know we recently had a shipping increase on Macari. We had one on Poshmark. And I don't know that there was a shipping increase on eBay. I didn't really notice it, but then when I'm doing my calculated shipping, excuse me, I haven't noticed it. I'm so sorry, I got a tickle in my throat all of a sudden. Oh my gosh, excuse me guys, I'm so sorry. Oh, sorry. Okay, I'm back. So I haven't noticed a difference in eBay. But let's keep an eye out for that, you guys. If anybody else does see something before I mention it on the reseller chat, please feel free to mention it in the comments on the video so we can all be aware of it. Let's help each other out with that, because shipping is a big deal no matter what platform you sell on, right? Okay. Let's talk about how to increase sales. And one of the reasons why I want to discuss this is because there is a lot of negative out there right now. People are frustrated. And people are actually reaching out on videos. People are talking on Instagram. People are reaching out on Facebook posts. They're like, what can I do to increase my sales? And people are putting blame on certain things. It's not just lives. People are putting blame on different things. A lot of it is lives. People are bashing lives a lot. People don't necessarily, it's funny because people are bashing Poshmark lives more than they're bashing Whatnot lives. I'm really not seeing a lot of people talking about Whatnot lives. Maybe it's because Whatnot doesn't affect Poshmark in that way, because obviously if you're not on Whatnot, it doesn't affect the listings you have because you're not listed on Whatnot. But I do think that there are other aspects of what is going on in the reseller community. And some of this we actually talked about last week. Again, the economy is tough right now, guys. People are just simply looking for a deal. There are so many people strapped financially right now, guys. Gas prices have been through the roof. Food's been through the roof. Kids' clothes are through the roof. Mortgages, all this stuff adds up. And these poor parents are just trying to survive, right? You guys all know, whether you're a reseller or not, or just a buyer, you know how tough it is. It's one of the reasons why either you're reselling to make an extra living or you're looking for the deal because that's all you could afford. So instead of griping about what could be going on, kind of like we talked about last week, what can we do to change to be better resellers, to improve things on our own businesses, to make more sales? And I think instead of complaining about what Poshmark Lives could be doing, which is what a lot of the gripe is, honestly, there's not really a lot of complaints about eBay. There's not a lot of complaints about Whatnot. It's all about Posh Lives and how people think that Posh Lives are just destroying their closets. Again, there are a lot of people on Poshmark doing very well with their listings and making a living. The one gal that I know of that does very well on Poshmark and eBay, she not only makes a living for herself, but she has employees. And she's been making a great living all through this whole thing with Poshmark Lives. Not one effect on her because of what she's doing, you guys. So let's talk about that. Delisting and relisting. If you're on Poshmark, you know how important this is. Delisting and relisting. I do think that delisting and relisting is important, but I'm going to be honest with you. I think listing new listings every single day is even more important. I think getting fresh listings up every day and delisting and relisting is important. Now, I know that a lot of people have a hard time being consistent doing listings, and honestly, I think between consistency in listings and not just listing every day, but having a consistency in the number of listings that you're doing. On eBay, if you only list 5 items one day, you list 15 items the next day, and then jump down to 10 listings, you want to have a consistency of what you're doing. You don't want to be jumping all over the place. Yes, listing is important. So even if you can only do 5, I say, of course, do the 5. But if you can be consistent, say, pick a number that you feel that you know you can do. Say it's 10 listings a day. And you're like, well, maybe I can do 15 every once in a while. At least for sure, do the 10 every single day. Okay? Maybe bring it back a little bit in your numbers when you know for sure that that is a number that you absolutely can hit every single day. eBay is definitely one of those platforms where you need to be listing every single day. There is no delisting and relisting on the platform. Okay? It's very different than Poshmark. As far as Poshmark goes, delisting and relisting I think is important, but I do think also so vitally important, guys, that you get fresh new listings up every day. Okay? I think keywords is really important. I really do. I think that's one of the reasons why a couple of those videos when we did the reseller chat, we talked about some of the keywords. I do think the keywords is very vital in our listings, especially for the algorithm of Google on Poshmark. So talking about keywords, and if you guys want us to do more focus on keywords to improve how we're doing our listings, we can most certainly do that, talking about titles and different things like that. Keywords. Now for me, I do keywords different in my Poshmark. I've actually, the gal that I was just talking about that does very well on Poshmark and eBay, even through all these changes with the platforms, she does her keywords different. I've actually been doing mine the way she does them, and it's been great. The other factor is, guys, is the pieces that you buy. Now, let's talk about this a little bit. For me, I cannot go to the thrift store like this other gal does that I was talking about and choice pick the pieces that I want and make sure there's a high sell-through rate. I don't have that advantage because for me to drive 45 minutes one way every single day, I have a different business model where I have things come to me because I'd rather be listing more items a day and finding a way to flush through the bad pieces and figure out what to do with those when my box comes in than be out there and spending most of my day and maybe only being able to list a few items a day because of the amount of time that I had to be listed at the store versus travel time and all that. I have a different way that I run my business model. And there are other people also who live at a distance from thrift stores and they have their stuff come to their door. Now, when you have stuff come to your door, even though you're very careful with your COG, you do your research, you're still going to get duds in the box. It's just a fact. It's the way boxes work, right? So you have to figure that out for yourself. For me, I have figured out a way to work that for my business model and accommodate for that. So for me, picking out the good items in the box, I am meticulous about how I also purchase my boxes, what I purchase them, what my COG is, and all that. And with that in mind, I'm going to be putting out a video on how I purchase my pieces online to resell on my platforms, for my lives, for my platforms, my auctions, and all that. I'm going to be doing a video on how I purchase my boxes and my liquidations. Because I've had a few people in chat and also in other platforms mention to me how they think that that would be a benefit to have a video like this. So I'm going to be putting a video like that out here very soon. So be on the lookout for that. If you're not subscribed, you guys, please make sure you're subscribed and you hit the bell notification so you know when the liquidation video comes out. We're going to be doing some other videos about platforms and just reselling and some ways to improve things too. So if you're not subscribed yet, make sure you're subscribed. You don't want to miss this content, guys. Good items is very, very important. Now, again, I don't think you always have to have a 100% sell-through rate. It depends on how quickly you want to sell the piece. But it also depends on if you're doing listings on Poshmark or eBay, because different things sell better on different platforms. And it also depends too on whether or not you're doing lives. Because if you're doing lives, depending on the platform on the lives you're doing, some pieces you can sell easier and quicker versus being in a listing. There's a lot of differences there. I know because I've been doing lives, guys. I've been involved in lives. I've been seeing lives. I have been around lives long enough to know now on different platforms what's working and what's not working versus listings. And there is a difference. Okay, consistency, guys. Consistency is so important. We really need to hammer consistency. If you're not being consistent in your daily habits, even if you have a full-time job and you do this part-time, I know people have families, and family comes first. First and foremost, you guys, I do not want you putting this business in front of your family. I'm not telling you what to do by any means, but your family comes first. You have kids, you need to figure out how to work your business also while raising your kids. And there's a lot of moms out there, a lot of dads out there that also have families that are still doing this. So you have to figure out, though, what you can do to make consistency work for you, to be listing on a daily basis, whatever number works best for you. And like I've said before, if you could do at least 5 listings a day, that would be best. Because I think 5 is really important, especially for eBay, to be doing at least 5 listings a day. Okay, let's talk about pricing too. Because even if you don't have a really, like for example, Free People, Good American, what are some of these other really, really nice brands that everybody's out? Lululemon. Well, of course, Lululemon isn't selling for as much as it used to. But there's all these really high Anthropology and some of these really extravagant brands, Johnny Was, that people find out in the wild. All those brands are great, but trust me, not everybody has access to those brands in thrift stores. Lily Pulitzer is another one. People go bonkers with Lily Pulitzer. It sells so high. But not everybody has access to these really high-end brands. Those are the brands that when you sell them, it's like, oh my gosh, yay. But a lot of what we make for a living for our families is bread and butter, right? So let's figure out good pricing for bread and butter pieces. Guys, make sure you're running comps. If you haven't, and I've had to work on this too, okay? If you have a price and you have something, a piece, and you have something listed, say your COG is less than $5, say it's a $3 piece. You got a really great deal on a COG, and it's a $3 piece, and you have it listed on Poshmark, and you see solds for like between $15 and $20, and you list it for $25. Okay? Somebody sent you an offer for, say, $17. Your COG was $3 on that piece, and you get an offer for $17. Now, even once Poshmark takes out their 20%, because it's $17, so you're looking at now $13 you're going to make on a $3 piece. You have more than tripled your money on that piece. But I think a lot of people turn down that offer because it's $17 and they're thinking, man, I should be making so much more for that piece. I wanted $25, I wanted $20. But you're missing out on a sale and getting your triple your money on that piece and turning that money back into some more pieces. I think there's a lot of people who have their items priced too high, and if they get an offer on something, they're rejecting it because they're like, no, I'm determined to get this price. I think we kind of talked about this last week. Taking a lower offer, if you're at least doubling your money on that piece and you're wanting to flip items and make some sales, accept the offer, guys. Don't be afraid to accept the offer if you're making double, triple on that item. And that comes into my next topic of pricing. Our expectations of what we make on a piece. Now, if your item is $5 and you've got it listed, like this item could be listed for like $35 and you get a $20 offer, you make $16 on that piece. For me, I would still take that offer because if my COG is $5 and I've just tripled my money on a $5 piece and get $15 for it, yeah, I'm going to take the offer because I just tripled my money and now I can take $5, take $15 and turn around and flip it into more inventory. Now, I also have times where people turn around and accept the $28 offer on a $35 piece, or they send me a $25 offer on that piece and I make even more money. There are definitely those opportunities. But more than likely, especially with the economy right now, guys, we might be getting lower offers on pieces. But if you're doubling and tripling your money on that COG, and you could turn around and sell that sooner than later instead of waiting for that that offer that's just a few dollars less than what you listed it for. I think we need to be mindful of our expectations of offers. Things are not the same as they were even a year ago. Guys, a year ago, when I first started on Poshmark a year and a half ago, I remember when I first started on Poshmark, you could do a 10%, maybe 15% off on pieces on Poshmark, and I would get sales. If I do a 10% or 15% off offer on Poshmark right now, people don't even take a second look at it. They just don't even buy it because they're wanting a better deal right now. Right now, a minimum offer to make a sale on Poshmark is typically between 20 and 25%. So yeah, I do accommodate my pricing. I do have a pricing strategy, okay? But I also, if I receive an offer, one of the first things that I do is I check comps on that offer, okay? If that offer is a little bit lower than what I'm thinking it should be, I'll check comps on that offer. And if it's within that median range, okay, and I've doubled or tripled my money on that piece, I go ahead and accept the offer and I move on to the next piece, guys. If it's too low and I'm not at least doubling my money, I counter kind of in between, so I at least double my money. And sometimes what I do on that piece, you guys, is I counter, but I counter a little bit above just in case they come back a few dollars lower than my counter. And the lower, hopefully, counter they might make will double my money. I have a certain strategy and way that I do that. If you guys would like me to do a video on that, I'm happy to do that. So I think our expectations of what we're going to be getting for pieces, guys, has changed in the last year because there's a lot of changes that have happened in the platforms. The economy has changed, pricing has changed, goodwill prices have gone up. There's a lot of diversity in the changes in reselling that have happened in the last year. And we have to acclimate to how things are changing in the reselling community, guys. We have to adjust our pieces and our expectations. I think that's one of the reasons why lives are doing so well, even on Whatnot and Poshmark, because when people, seasoned sellers on Whatnot, they have a certain way that they do their pricing because they get their COG so low. A lot of these Whatnot resellers, they buy massive bulk. So their COG is probably like between like less than $1 to maybe $1.50 a piece on the items that they're getting. So if they turn around and sell that even for $5 on Whatnot, fees are only 11% on Whatnot. They're not that high. So, and they're going live and they're selling 100 pieces in one live piece. You guys, darn tootin', they're making good money doing a live auction that way. And that's what a lot of these Poshmark guys are doing. So let's just be mindful. If you're doubling your money at least or tripling your money on a piece, accept the offer and move on, you guys. And let's be mindful when we're listing our pieces. Definitely accommodate for pricing, for offers and all that. But maybe your pieces are priced too high too. I know I've been going through and double checking pieces on my Poshmark because even if you listed something 6 months ago, that item may not be selling at that price bracket now. It may have gone down. Like some jeans. Some jean prices have gone down. Mabel's not selling for as much as it used to. Paige. Some of those other pieces. Lululemon, some pieces aren't selling for as high. Free People, I think, is not quite saturated yet, but it's getting there. Everybody's selling Free People really high. I think even some Free People, I've noticed, some pieces do sell well, especially if it's new with tags. But pre-owned Free People, you're not going to be making $60 on a top anymore. I think you're looking at more like $35, $40. So just be mindful of your pricing. And if you do receive offers, even on eBay, I have sometimes things that are listed at a high price because I honestly don't know what to list at if you don't have a comp for the piece. And somebody sends you half of what you have it listed for. And even at their price that they offered, on top of the fees, if you take that away and you're still doubling or tripling your money, I'm going to go ahead and take it. I'm going to move on, guys. I'm not here. There was something that somebody said when I first started out reselling last year. She said, I'm not in the business of storing items. I'm in the business of selling items. She said, take the offers if it works. There's another guy who's been in reselling for a very long time. He has a video about this exact same thing, you guys. He says, guys, take the offers and move on. Don't worry about it. If you're doubling or tripling your money, take the offer. Okay, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I want to emphasize this, guys. Don't be too high in your expectations on your profit. If you're going to make profit and move on to other pieces, go for it, okay? All right. I want to talk, since we're going into garage sale season. I know I've mentioned to you guys in some previous videos when I was doing that 200-pound thread up box, you guys, I mentioned to you that I was going to be doing a garage sale. My husband and I have decided when we're going to be doing it. And what I'd like to encourage some of you to do, if you're like me, if you're like me and you do have some old inventory that doesn't sell well from when you first started out reselling, we all go to that stage where we pick things up that we shouldn't have picked up, or even if recently you pick some stuff up that maybe, hey, I ran that comp and maybe, or I didn't run the comp, and you picked a piece up and it's not really going to do as well as you thought, maybe consider doing a garage sale this summer. And at least getting your cog back on the piece so that you can take that money and reinvest it back into other pieces. You may make profit on the piece depending on what your cog was, because garage sales, people are going to be looking for deals, okay? But if you can at least make your cog back, if your cog was like $5 or less on your items, and it's in its clothing, and you can put it out in a garage sale for at least your cog, so you get your money back in your pocket, you can reinvest it into better pieces. I encourage you to maybe consider doing a garage sale on your items that aren't doing well, because people out in the wild aren't particular as much when they're on platforms as to the brands. And sometimes if a piece has a flaw and you're selling it for that inexpensively at a garage sale, people still pick the piece up if it has a flaw, maybe even a stain or a tear or a hole or whatever. People still pick the pieces up, especially if you have it at a really low price. So if you have some things to flush out, maybe consider doing a garage sale for yourself this summer and flushing out some pieces, get that money back in your pocket, and move on to some other stuff instead of waiting for it to lower the price again and again on a platform and trying to sell it that way, especially if it's a brand that is not going to be a good sale. So I just kind of wanted to mention that as an option for people. Okay. And also, I would recommend doing that instead of sending it out into ThreadUp. Now, you all know that I sent some boxes into ThreadUp. And, I had done an update on that ThreadUp. I actually did make money on those 2 boxes that I sent in. I made just over $100 on each box that I sent into ThreadUp. So I did make good profit. My issue with one of the boxes that I did was through, oh my gosh, what was the name of that company? It's a really, really expensive brand. And when I went on to go check out their site to see what I could use the $100 on, holy cow, their pieces were expensive, even on sale. I mean, even on sale, you're talking $150, $200 for a piece. It was super expensive. I will still use that money on the site, but I'm going to be looking for a very particular piece to use the money on. And then I still have some things for Athleta. I do workouts on I do workouts 5 to 6 days a week. So I am going to be going on to the Athleta site and purchasing some things for myself. So I did get that money back in my pocket. I will not be sending more things into ThreadUp anytime soon, just because I don't want to be doing partner kits. I want the money back in my pocket and not on a partner site. So when you're doing partner kits, you do have to be mindful of the fact that that partner kit, you actually have to purchase through the site where the partner kit is. And if you actually want the money in your pocket, I would recommend doing a garage sale instead of sending a partner kit in. Even though the partner kit comes back within a couple weeks, I would maybe recommend, since we're in garage sale season and this is a great time to do that, maybe taking some effort and doing a garage sale instead of doing a partner kit on ThreadUp. So that's what I'm going to be doing a lot of my pieces back there. Because my cog was less than $5. Most of my cogs back there are between like $3 and $4.50. So if I can sell something for $5 at a garage sale, even $4, that money's back in my pocket. I'm not too concerned about making a profit. If I do, great. But at least I'm getting my cog back in my pocket to put it back into something else on pieces that aren't selling. And let's also talk about sourcing, guys. Oh my goodness, thrift stores are so expensive. The more videos I watch where people are sourcing, I cannot believe what they're spending on these pieces. Some people are spending $15 on jeans at the thrift store, and I'm just sitting here cringing. My thrift store pieces on jeans, just regular jeans, they do price up like Miss Me to $15 and other things, but just regular jeans is like $5.25. Tops are like $4.75. People are paying $8 and $9 for dresses in the thrift stores. My dresses are $5.25. It is so much cheaper, but I don't have access to go to the thrift store on a daily basis. So being mindful of your cog when you're sourcing, guys. And this is going to be included when I do my sourcing liquidation video. I'm going to be talking about that. So again, please make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that video. I don't want to make this video too long. We're already at 40 minutes. But I kind of want to talk about things that we can be doing to improving our COG, to improve our listings, our style tags, and all those different things. Delisting, relisting a Poshmark, but again, making sure you're getting daily listings up every day, guys. Consistency is so key. And one of the reasons why I say that too is the gal that I've been talking about that I follow on YouTube, they are consistent in listing every day. Even on eBay, she actually, what do they call it? Oh my goodness. Where you plan out to have something go live. She schedules her listings on eBay. She doesn't work on the weekends. They don't go into the office on the weekends. But she has all of her, even on weekends, the number of listings that she does on a daily basis. She has scheduled on Saturday and Sunday. So her listings still go live Saturday and Sunday on eBay. And then on Poshmark, her team goes through and cross-posts to Poshmark during the week when they're working. And she is consistent. Every single day, her team lists those listings every single day. She does really good sales, guys. So I really do think the pieces, the prices, the COG, all of that factor is so very important to being consistent and making sales. I really, really do. So I really hope that this information was helpful. Again, I didn't want to be like beating a horse. I apologize if I come across that way. But I just want to really encourage us. We're going through a change right now with reselling. Between platform changes, the way we sell on platforms is changing, the economy is changing, prices in thrift stores are changing, the way they're running items in even bins is changing. Somebody messaged me on a YouTube channel that even at their bins, they're actually hiring employees to pull the nice pieces like we talked about a couple weeks ago from the bins, and they're actually doing auctions at those bins, selling those pieces themselves. They're not giving it to the people going into the bins and picking things up like us. Okay? A lot of changes are happening. So we need to adjust and acclimate, and you need to figure out for yourself how your business runs, and you may need to change your business model a little bit, guys. If you're used to selling higher end pieces, but right now with the way things are going, maybe selling things at a lower price and getting a really cheaper COG, maybe sourcing in different locations, maybe selling your items and maybe doing more bread and butter instead of higher end pieces. But we all need to adjust. I've had to adjust, guys. In the last few weeks, I've made a lot of changes because I need to adjust and change with it too. But I would also like to encourage us, guys. I know it's easy to get caught up and get frustrated, but what I want to encourage us to do, let's not be, I want us to share frustration so again we can resolve. I do think that's important. But there's a difference between that and looking for resolve and help from other people to make changes and move on. And just continually talking, oh my gosh, this is happening. Oh my gosh, this is happening. Okay, so if you don't like a certain thing on a platform and you get to the point where you don't want to sell on that platform, quit selling on that platform. Seriously. Or find a way on your phone to cut out those notifications, or I don't know. But all I'm saying is there's a lot of money to be made as resellers still, guys. And this is such a great time to be a reseller. If something was working for you the last couple of years and maybe it's not working now, it's just like sourcing. Maybe you need to change how you're selling. Maybe you need to add a platform or something. But I've just seen a lot of people in comments, in chats on certain YouTube videos. People are just getting kind of nasty in the comments. And I really want to encourage us to support each other. And even if you see somebody selling a certain way because it works for their business, don't be mad at them because they're doing it that way and it works for their business and their family. Because you wouldn't want them to be upset with you and bashing on you because they don't like the way you're selling and what works for your business and for your family. I just want us to support each other and encourage each other. And if people find a way that works for them and their business, encourage them that that's working for them. Be happy for them. Don't sit there and complain that it's working for them and it's not working for you. Find what does work for you. Okay? So that's just all. Again, I don't want to be negative here. I just think we need to just kind of have a mental reset in how we're reselling and really encourage each other and support each other, you guys. This has been such great comments in my YouTube videos. I just want to say thank you to you guys for your encouragement, for supporting each other, for your great comments, for your feedback, learning from each other. That's one of the things I actually really love about the Whatnot community. When you're a reseller on Whatnot and you're on other people's lives, oh my goodness. Like I was on Whatnot the other day doing my kids show, and what you can actually do where you drop into somebody's live and and rate their show and add more people to their show to be able to sell more things. Somebody rated me the other day. I'm really close to a certain number of followers on Whatnot, and a bunch of people followed me because they wanted to help me get to that following number. I was on my first Poshmark live the other night, you guys. My first live. I cannot tell you how many people in that live were so excited for me, supported me, followed me, said, yeah, we'll follow your other Poshmarks. That's what I want to do no matter how we're selling and what we're selling, what platforms we're selling on, what pieces you're picking up, where you source from. My goal is that we're encouraging each other, supporting each other, helping each other out, learning from each other, teaching each other. That's what reselling is all about, is support in the community, right? Okay, I'm going to end on that. Our goal this week, guys, is to do that for each other, to help each other. And if you've had something that's been frustrating you and you're reselling, reach out. Maybe we can help you. Or be thinking about how you can change things to do that. Consistency. Look at your consistency. Look at how many things you're actually listing on a daily basis. Look at all the details about what we talked about today. Maybe you need to go through and change and tweak some things, okay, on your listings. But I would encourage you guys to look at your goals that you had last week and how can you change and improve those goals this week to be making money. Because again, like I said last week, guys, our goal as resellers is to be making money and to provide a great product at a great price for our customers. Guys, have a great week. I look so forward to hearing from y'all. Please feel free to leave feedback, you guys. If you do have a frustration I can help you, please let me know. Look for the liquidation video. I will be doing that very soon. I'm also going to be doing a what sold this month here very soon. Some of people have let me know that they prefer what sold videos or the over the 90-day updates. So I'm definitely going to be focusing on some what sold videos. I have had some good sales, so I'm really excited to share those with you. Guys, I'll see you in the next one and take care.